Good morning, folks. Here we are again at Ferry Meadows. For those of you that watch my channel, you're going to know that this is the second day on the trot fishing, which is unusual for me. So yeah, so the Masters of Ferry is a 4-match series. It's now a 3-match series. They cancelled the second match, unfortunately. So yesterday, which was Sunday, which was when the match was meant to be held, there was a huge kayaking event on the lake, and yeah, unfortunately that clashed with our match, and there was just no way that we could have a match on here. They were just going very close to the bank, so the PDAA done the right thing. They cancelled the match. So I went for a pleasure fishing session, and like I say, for those of you that watch my channel, you'd know about that. Yesterday on Overton, had a really good day. God, what I'd like to have a day like that today in the match. So today, anyway, it's a bank holiday Monday, and there's a bit of a consolation. The PDAA are running just an open match. There's a lot of us bought bait, spent a lot of money, so they've been good enough. And Darren Sparrow, bless him, you know, he's now had to use his bank holiday Monday up to come here and run a match. So thanks, Darren, really appreciate your help. So in fact, I think that's it. I can hear talking in the background there, but no, I really appreciate you doing it, Darren. You didn't have to, so thanks ever so much. Anyway, yes, so Ferry Meadows, today is going to be a different day to yesterday. Yesterday was bright, sunny. It was a bit cloudy in the morning, but then yeah, the sun come out, and but I was in a very good area. I was on an end peg, and I've done very well. So today, I haven't really fished any of the hot pegs yet on gun weight, so I'd love to be able to sit on some fish. But there are some big weights that have been coming out. If the fish are still in those pegs or not, I don't know. I don't think there's going to be too many of us. I think there's going to be about 25, 26 of us fishing. So, but anyway, it's going to be a bit miserable today, the weather, unfortunately. So it's, as you can see, it's a little bit overcast at the minute. There's a nice sort of southwesterly breeze on, but that's just going to get stronger as the day goes on, and then we're expecting rain from about 9 o'clock onwards, which is just going to get heavier. So pretty good conditions really for bream fishing, so you never know, it might produce a fish or two. Anyway, I'm going to go to the draw now, so, and yeah, see if I can pick out one of these lucky numbers. I don't really know where I want to be honest with you, but I think they're putting a high bank in, and they're putting most of the woods in, for those of you that know Ferry Meadows, because I think that's where a lot of the fish have been coming out. So anyway, fingers crossed for a good peg at the draw. I'll see you there. Right then, at the draw now. Fingers crossed, guys. Here we go.
But if I'm on that section anyway, I'll be coming back with it. So
what have we got? Oh dear. 102.
Sorry, I didn't see you.
That's a good peg, apparently.
No pressure, Alan.
No pressure. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Nice short walk as well. Right, guys. I shall see you once I'm in the swim. Right then, folks, I'm in the swim, been in here a little while now, got half an hour to go. Just haven't quite mixed my ground bait up yet, so just had a dog eating half of it, so I've had to mix up a load more. Bless it, took a bit of a taste to it. It's like the bream like it as much as the dog did. It's a really windy day. The wind is, I don't know if you can hear it in a minute, but it's right in my face. I'm going to take you into the peg now. Apologies for the sound quality. The rain's coming, I can see it, so I don't know what the video is going to be like today. I'll try and video some of it. Apologies if it's not great. I'll try and edit it as best I can and try and get as much as I can, but obviously I apologise if the quality is a bit poor. So anyway, so I'm peg 102. Never fished it before, never been right down this end of the lake before. As you can hear now, the wind's coming, and there you go, peg 102, which is there. Now the only thing I know about this is last weekend Phil Ringer sat on this peg and he had 150 odd, 160 odd pound of fish, so I've been told. So because the bream were down this end of the lake spawning. I've got a load of weed in front of me, to be fair. I can't even fish a short line, but as I'm pulling that weed in, it's absolutely chock-a-block full of eggs. So they definitely have been down here spawning. If they're still here or not, I don't know. Someone was saying that someone fished the bank opposite over there, on Thursday, and they had a load of bream out. So with a bit of luck, they are still here and we get a few pulls. I've had to go out to 60 metres to find a clear spot, and with the wind blowing right in my face, that's going to make it a bit of a difficult chuck. Hence the reason why you need these Free Spirit rods, because, you know, with a standard feeder rod, you're not going to chuck a decent bait up feeder out there, or a decent standard feeder up there accurately. That's the thing, it's being accurate. Hence the reason why I went over to Free Spirit rods for days like this, when this wind is really blowing in your face, and you've got to get out to 60 metres and fish that accurately. It's difficult, you know. I mean, I'm not the best caster in the world, but, you know, even some of the best casters in the world, to be accurate at 60 metres with a wind in your face is quite difficult. You know, I find it difficult anyway. Comment below, guys, if you if you think I'm wrong, you think that's easy. I certainly don't. But yeah, by all means, please put your comments below. Anyway, so yes, the rods for today. The main rod is going to be the High S Power Feeder Special, and obviously that's a Free Spirit. That's a 13 foot 390. On my rod rest, I've got the same rod, which is Highest Power Feeder, but that's a distance. That's what I'm going to be using, as you can see, as my bait up rod. So I've got a lot of weed on the reel there, and I've also set up, as I did yesterday, this is the Highest Power Feeder, this is the distance, and this is the 12 foot, and that's got a hybrid feeder on it, as you can see. So nothing complicated. I did try having a cast out there for a short line, and I spent quite a lot of time on it, about 25 minutes, just trying to find a hole on a short line. I couldn't. It was just solid weed out there, so it's going to be, if I start getting into some fish, it's going to be interesting getting them through that weed. So I've just got to fish very positively. Nice size 12 hook, probably 0.17 I would imagine, main line, something like that, 0.15 to 0.17. And yeah, be able to pull them through that weed. So let's just hope there's a few fish there, guys. Anyway, I'm just going to do the final few bits. Like I said, I've got a bit more ground bait to mix up, because yeah, that dog took a taste to it, so I've had to add a bit more. Sorry, bait for the day, really not complicated. I've got the old crunchy casters, I've got some floating reds there that I'm organising, got some sweet corn, let's put that hood down. I've got normal reds, and then I've got some dead reds. I've got some micros in there that I mixed up last night, and in here I've got a load of dendrobinas, which I'm going to be chopping up as the day goes on. I shall see my way into that. I've got the old peg number 1 wafters here. I've got the Power Prawn, and I've got the Scopex Supreme. They're the 6mm ones, so they're more washed out, and these ones are bright pink and sort of pellet colour. So that's what I'm going to be using for me wafters. And like I say, all I've got left really is to mix my ground bait. I'm going to be mixing a sloppy mix, obviously, to cast over the top and empty up in the water, and a standard mix. So I've used a peg number 1 Mayhem Green. I've used a 50-50 with the Bream and Skimmer today, and I've also put in a lot of the black squid and krill, because the water is quite clear. Even though it's overcast, it's still fairly clear. So I've actually made my mix quite dark today, and I've added a bit more molasses in it than what I would normally as well, so it's almost got a browny colour rather than a greeny colour. I will be adding the betaine twist, which is the transformer liquid, into my sloppy mix. I'll just show you that. So these are, for those of you that don't know, peg number 1 have brought out these awesome transformer liquids, and they're great for you sort of like your fishery own pellets if you want to colour them up, just to add a little bit of difference. But yeah, this is it here. So, and don't know if you can see how well you can see it on the camera there, but that is proper green, and when that hits the water, that creates a lovely cloud. So that's what I put in my sloppy mix when I empty that. Obviously, when it hits the water, I empty it on the surface of the water, and that creates a nice cloud, hopefully to get them fish down. So but yeah, we'll see what happens. It worked yesterday on Overton. If it's going to work today or not, I don't know. Anyway, right, I'll come back to you once I'm fishing. See you later. Righty folks, hope you can hear me okay with the wind, but yeah, that's it, baiting up's done. I actually had 2 casts out there with my conventional feeder before I'd done any baiting up this time, because there's a lot of weed out there, and I wanted to make sure that where I put my bait was definitely going to be where I'm going to be fishing. So because I've had it before where I thought it was clear, I started fishing, and then there's actually a load of weed that I wasn't picking up with my lead. So So this time I had two 4-minute casts with my conventional feeder on maggot, just to see if I was picking up any weed, and I didn't. I found a nice clear spot out there, albeit 60 metres out. So then after I've had them two casts, I've then spent sort of 20 minutes baiting up. I've put 9 bait up feeders out there, and 2 of them went awry, but the other 7 went okay. So because like I say, with this wind in my face, it's a bit difficult, so quite pleased with that really. And then I've emptied 3 bait up feeders with my slop on top as well. So I've actually, something a bit different, I've now gone out on a method feeder, just purely because I had a good day on it yesterday, and I just think it just gives the swim a chance to settle down really, because I haven't got a short line to fish. That's the only line I've got today. So I've gone out on a method feeder. I've gone about 2 metres past on my method feeder from my bait up area. So yeah, should give it a chance to settle down. So I'll go out there with that for 10-15 minutes, see if I get any liners, any signs or anything. I may have a second cast on it just to see as well, and then if I have nothing on that, then I'll start going out there on my conventional fishing with maggot, caster, worm and sweet corn. Right, hopefully come back to you with some fish. Wish me luck. Well, it's an hour in, guys, and I just had my first sign. I've got a bream on the end. I don't think it's huge, but it's not a tiddler either, so it's more than welcome. Caught it on me conventional. There we go. Fish number 1. Took an hour. Right, let's go and get another one. Right then folks, just gone 2 hours in, and I had actually had another bite, literally as I cast out there. Just put a rod on a rod rest and it went round. Unfortunately it was a foul hooked bream. I had it on for a little while, but yeah, it got into the weed and then the hook just come out, so unfortunately. But yeah, other than that, then that's it. I've not had a touch. Yeah, very quiet. I've actually chopped some worm up now, and I've just put a window feeder on just to see if I can sort of, you know, spark something to happen, but unfortunately it's not happening at the minute. Apologies, there's a little bit of rain in the air at the moment, so yeah, apologies for the sound and the picture quality now. Yeah, that's it, nothing else to report. So yeah, we'll just keep plugging away. I've tried the hybrid feeder, nothing on that. I've had a couple of casts out there on that now. Yeah, just I'm trying the old sloppy on top, and you know, it's just can't seem to spark anything happening. The guy next door to me about 10 minutes ago, he hadn't had a bite. That's the guy to my right. I think the guy to his right has had a few fish, and I've seen a few fish being caught further down to my right. Across there on the high bank, I've only seen a couple of decent fish being caught, and that's the guy that's nearest me. I've seen some smaller fish caught further down. Doesn't mean to say there hasn't been better fish caught, because obviously I'm not going to see everything, so I'm concentrating on looking at my own tip. So but yeah, I'm going through the book of things to do, and at the minute it's not happening. I'm going to go for another bait up in a minute and see if I can spark anything. We're putting a bit more bait out there and see what happens. But yes, I need that proper visit. Fingers crossed they turn up. Come back to you in a bit. Well, it don't feel particularly big, but just tried a worm and it's gone round. So not the biggest fish in the world, but definitely welcome. As you can see, the old worm on. So I weren't out there a couple of minutes. Right, go again. So we get another one. Looks like I've got a bit of a visit. Cast out there again. It was out there about 20 seconds and it's gone again. So maybe by putting that chopped worm out there, sparks a few fish. Let's hope so. Well guys, 3 hours in, and thought I was going to have a good visit then, because put a bit of chopped worm out there. Thought I'd take a bit of a chance, and oh sorry, it's raining again, yeah, didn't really get a bite when I put the chopped worm out there, because I just had maggot on my hook. But then I decided after a couple of casts to put a worm on, and it went round straight away. Went out there again, and literally seconds later, woof, it's gone round again. So I'm thinking, right, here we go. And then I've not had a bite since, so which is a bit frustrating. So I persevered with a chopped worm, and yeah, nothing. So I just had a very quick visit. So I've reset my swim. I've actually refed it, oh, let's get that off that end. Yeah, refed it now, and we go again. So I've got a piece of corn on at the minute. See what happens with that. But yeah, that was a bit of a shame. I really thought maybe I was going to have a decent visit and maybe get sort of you know, 7 or 8 fish. But still, it's nice to get a couple of bites. But yeah, frustrating that it didn't last very long. So I wasn't sure, maybe I didn't have enough bait out there on the bed. So that's the reason why I've refed it, just in case get another visit. And if I get another visit, they might hang around a little bit longer. Anyway, that's 3 hours in. Yeah, so we're finishing at 4 today, so it's 1:30 now. Right, come back to you in a bit. See you later. You can see I had a crack off earlier on. These little mussels, look, hanging onto your line here. Cut through your bloody line, they do. Well, there's an hour to go, folks, so there's still time. I don't know what, I haven't had a phone call or anything from anybody, so I haven't got a clue how anyone else is getting on. But it's been a tough day here, to be honest with you, but there's been a few fish about. I've had to keep chopping and changing. I'm on 5 decent bream now and 1 good skimmer bream, and I've lost one. I do think it was foul hooked. yeah, been a bit of a frustrating day. Yeah, seems to think you've sussed it out and you get a couple of bites and then it just goes quiet again. So but the last few fish I've had on sweet corn. So yeah, there we go. So it just all depends, doesn't it, on the day. But yeah, can't seem to get a bite or maggot or worm. Put the corn on, get the odd pull round. So I'm going to keep persevering with that at the moment. So right, an hour to go. We'll do with another 5 or 6 bream. Fingers crossed. Come back to you in a bit. Well, that's it, folks. All over and done with. All over too soon as well. That's just fishy for you. You can't believe how quick the time goes. Anyway, I've ended up with 10 bream. 3 of them are fairly small and 7 of them are decent size. So haven't got a clue what anyone else has done. So we'll just have to wait and see. I'll see you at the weigh-in. Well, hi there, folks. Apologies, my battery ran out while I was doing the weigh-in, so wasn't able to to weigh the fish in, or film. Sorry, wasn't able to film the weighing in. Anyway, as you know, you've seen I caught 10 bream. 3 of them are quite small. I ended up weighing in 46 pounds 12 ounces, which in the end wasn't a bad weight, but it didn't get me anywhere. There was a very high, I think it was a 59, there was a 60 something, and there was also a 78 I think as well, or 70 something as well. Jim Parrish won it, so well done, Jim. Yeah, but as it happens, where I was, the area I was in, that was quite a good weight, because the guy next to me didn't even have a bite. The guy to my right and the chap next to him only had 3 bites. So so yeah, it was a hard day, tough day. I had to work really hard for those fish. It was a bit strange. I thought by putting the worm in was really going to get them going, because I had 2 fish really quickly, and then for whatever reason they just seemed to spook off from that. Maybe I should persevere a little bit longer on that, I don't know. But then by putting a bit of choppy sweet corn out there, that seemed to produce a few more bites. So they had more fish on the corn than I did anything else. Towards the end, the very end, the last 2 fish I had, which I had once again fairly close in concession of each other, that was on the worm. But I only had 1 fish on the maggot, and that was the very first fish I had. So bit of a strange day. They wanted feed, kept on obviously topping it up out there, and then I'd sort of get a couple of bites. But yeah, they didn't really want it. They weren't really settling. So, but the good thing is that all the way along my bank, most people caught, and all the way along the high bank, most people caught, and they caught well as well. You know, there's some good weights today, so it's really good that the fish have spread about. You just got to be able to tackle that weed. You've got to have the right rods really to get over the top of it, and then have the power to pull the fish through. So yeah, it can be a little bit difficult if you haven't really got the right rods. As you know, I use the Free Spirits, the high S Free Spirits, and they're the power feeders, the special and the distance, and that done the trick today. I lost 1 fish, but that was foul hooked, so I wasn't expecting to keep it on. So, but anyway, guys, I'm glad I caught some fish. I didn't take any money today, unfortunately. But I really enjoyed actually making a video, because I thought the weather was going to be a lot worse than what it was. Done quite well in the end. It had a bit of rain, but it wasn't too bad. So, but yes, I've enjoyed making a video. I hope you've enjoyed watching it, and I look forward to seeing you in the swim soon. Adios.